they talk about surrendering to the process, which is the ultimate trust, right? It's the highest level of trust is to surrender. I've watched so many people heal themselves. How often they did their meditations when they didn't want to do them. They did them anyway. Sometimes twice a day, 3 times a day, because they know they're cultivating elevated emotions and changing their chemicals in their body when they do that. And so trust plays a really great role because you can't see it yet. You can't feel it yet. You can't experience it yet. But what you're doing is you're mentally rehearsing it. And in that moment, you are experiencing it. The body doesn't know the difference between something real or imagined. To the body, it's exactly the same.
Just a little message from me. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. You'll help me and other people so much by subscribing to the channel, because the episodes and the guests will be reached by so many other people. Thank you so much for your help. Let's go to the last question about being hopeful. How to stay hopeful when change is slow. So there were several viewers shared stories about illness, setbacks, and long healing journeys, and we talked a bit about it, about that being greater than time. So one viewer wrote, "I was doing the work consistently and experienced beautiful changes in my life. Then I stopped for a while, became ill, and now years later I'm still healing. Some days I wonder if I will ever get back to where I was. How do I stay hopeful when the change I want is taking much longer than I expected?" So how do people stay hopeful when transformation takes longer than expected?
I wouldn't use the word hopeful, first of all. I would not. I would choose some different thoughts about it, right? Because there is an energy and a frequency to words, and I think one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is, what are the words that I want to create to describe my experience, which are new thoughts, right? How am I going to think about this differently, act differently, and feel differently? So I always go to, what does the healed self, or what does the person that has created the new business, that has created the new relationship, what do you say to yourself? Because if we're in the hopeful, nothing wrong with that, we're still thinking about what is not. We're still thinking about being on the journey. Well, then guess what? You'll still be on the journey. And so you have to take care of business. You have to say, okay, what are the thoughts that I'm thinking about this? Because I can't think those thoughts anymore. I have to look at them on paper in front of me or on my computer if I've typed them, and say, those are the thoughts. Whenever they come up, I've got to have new thoughts to think that feel authentic for me, that are different, right? That is the work. And then you're naturally going to act differently and feel differently. If you're hopeful, there's a different set of feelings that go with hopeful. If you say, if you choose different thoughts that lead to more elevated emotions, there is also, particularly for people that are healing, when your body makes those new neurotransmitters and new neuropeptides that flood the body, you're giving your body 1,400 antioxidants. You're making oxytocin, you're making vasopressin, the heart's engorged, right? You feel different because you're making different chemicals. And the body, the autonomic nervous system, autonomic means automatic, teach this in the program as well. Literally, the body goes, oh, I can use this. I'm in balance, I'm in order, I'm in homeostasis now. She's finally relaxed. Right, okay, I can take these chemicals and take them for long-term business projects in the body called healing, right? Long-term building projects. This is my business. This is what I'm taking care of. And so the emotions that the chemicals of the emotions that go with hopeful aren't as changing, life changing in the body as elevated emotions. So if you can feel the joy of when you're healed. If you can cultivate the feeling, the thoughts and feelings of relief, of relief's a big one, a big creation energy of it's, oh my God, it's finally happened, and you think that thought and you feel that feeling. I'm so grateful. Oh my God, my body's starting to feel better and better every day. I can feel I'm moving closer towards it. I'm feeling a little bit better than I did this morning or yesterday or overall for the last month. I know I've moved forward. I know that I'm changing the needle, changing the gauge. Um, and so every time you do that, every time you think a thought that gives you an elevated emotion, and people go, well, how do I do that? You've got to find something that can take you to the elevated emotion, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. And then the more you think and feel that, much like you do in your waking day, you're feeling amazing, you're making chemicals amazing in your body. Guess what? Then you eat differently, you move differently, and your body's like, wow, this is really good. I feel very, very different, right? Because the hopeful or the thoughts about the body not yet having healed, which is natural and normal, unfortunately, in the body can create a stress response. And if we're in a stress response, we're in fight, flight, freeze, and we're making chemicals that take the body out of balance, out of order, out of homeostasis. Well, the body can't go to balance, order, and homeostasis and heal when it's in a stress response. Why? Because all of the blood rushes to the extremities. It's not a time to eat. It's not a time to make saliva. It's not a time to relax. It's like the body's in a light flight or sometimes more intense fight, flight, freeze response, and that's actually working against wellness and healing in the body. So um, it's really important to be able to notice the state of being that you're in and what's your state of being, your personality, and what's your personality, how you think, how you act, and how you feel. And people go, she keeps going back to that. I'm like, because it's a key. It's a key thing. And then if you're in your waking day and you start to think about things and you're not in those thoughts with that elevated emotion that is your future, then you're in your not future. So you have to have in your waking day a way of self-regulating, and that's what we teach is how to self-regulate. So I said I would mention how you would get to an elevated emotion, and Dr. Joe says, I don't care if you have to think about your puppy to get there, and whatever you have to think about, start with, just get there, right?
Mhm.
And so what does that mean? Okay, so I would say to someone, can you think of a person, place, thing, or time where you just felt an intense amount of love or an elevated emotion or something amazing in your life? And everybody says yes. And go, have you got the person, place, thing, or time? Yes. And on a scale of 0 to 10, where are you? And they usually say like a 7, 8, 9. And I go, if you're at a 7, could you just turn it up a notch or two to an 8 or a 9? Yes, every time in a nanosecond. And I go, right, you just demonstrated to me that you can do that by thought alone. That's your practice. Keep practicing that, keep using that memory initially until you can do it just by thought alone without the memory, right? You can literally cultivate to know these are the thoughts I'm going to think, this is the feeling, and I'm going to intensify, I'm going to raise that energy till you can feel it viscerally in your body. Now you know you're making those great chemicals in your body that are very useful for healing and for balance, order, repair. Make sense?
Yeah. Just a little message from me. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. You'll help me and other people so much by subscribing to the channel because the episodes and the guests will be reached by so many other people. Thank you so much for your help. So, what does trust play in this? Like, what kind of role does trust play during these healing process?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think again, I'm not an expert on healing, um, but what I've learned from watching the stories of transformation, which I would highly recommend, is you'll learn all about trust. You'll learn all about surrender if you watch those. I watch them and I listen to what they're saying and I excavate and really listen to them over again and over again because there are amazing examples in there and they talk about surrendering to the process, which is the ultimate trust, right? It's the highest level of trust, is to surrender and to say, I've watched so many people heal themselves, and I've listened to how hard it was for them, and I've listened to what they do and what they said to themselves and how they acted and what they did and how often I did the meditations when they didn't want to do them. They did them anyway,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sometimes twice a day, 3 times a day, right? Because they know they're cultivating elevated emotions and changing their chemicals in their body when they do that. And so trust plays a really great role because you can't see it yet, you can't feel it yet, you can't experience it yet. But what you're doing is you're mentally rehearsing it, and in that moment, you are experiencing it. The body doesn't know the difference between something real or imagined. To the body, it's exactly the same.
I really love what you said. Like, surrender is the highest level of trust. Like, really surrendering.
Mhm. Because
Wow.
if you knew it had already happened, then you would be different,
Yeah.
right? And so for healing specifically, I highly recommend, like, watch the stories of transformation. You know, some of them are well, all of them are mind blowing, but some of them are next level mind blowing.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. This was amazing. Thanks for your time. For everyone that is watching this on YouTube or listening it on any podcast channel, you can find Lindsay through Neuro Solutions. Can you just say the website, please?
I
So
will.
where can
newchangesolutions.com. You can click on contact us and we'll answer your questions. They'll get to me. I also want to take a moment to thank Dr. Joe Dispenza, because without him and the decades of his work, how diligently he applies this to himself and his life and shares it with the world, none of this would be possible. So let's take a moment of thanks and gratitude for him.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Really, really amazing. Appreciate everything what you also taught me and the community here. So, for thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your questions, for your comments. We really, really appreciate it, and hopefully, this gave you some insights on really doing the work, on really doing the work and transforming. Have a great day, all. Thank you so much, Lindsay.
It's been an honor and a privilege. I'm so grateful to connect with you again. And thank you for everything you're doing in the world. Just superb.
I'll see you in Copenhagen.
Yes, you will.